Hello, my friends, and welcome back to You've Got a Thing, an interview thing about Milwaukee theater things. My name is Jaimelyn Gray. I am the host of this program, and I've been on a bit of a break. I was actually expecting to be back about 2 weeks ago, and just full disclosure, I was on vacation, which was actually the first vacation of my, first real vacation of my lifetime, and my husband's as well. And so we decided to take an extra week, and then it took me a bit to get back into work mode. And so here we are a few weeks later than I expected, but have a fantastic program or a fantastic interview for you today. Jennifer Vosters from a production of A Doll's House over at Milwaukee Chamber Theatre, and that should be something that you're interested in. But I'm actually going to mix things up a little bit here in 2025. Happy New Year, by the way, because it's this is the first time that I'm talking with you since the new year. A little bit late. Regardless. And so I just want to change things up a little bit here. I think I'm going to start doing sort of the news side of things first before I put the interview out there. And so just a little warm up to dive into the meatier stuff at the end of the program, and give you what's happening at this moment in time in the Milwaukee theater scene first, and then hand you the interview. So I guess I will just get right to it and let you know the things that are happening right at this moment in time. And first of all, closing this week is Skylight Music Theatre's Juliet and Romeo, which is a new musical. And so if you haven't caught this, that's something that you might be interested in to catch real quick here, because it closes February 2nd, which is Sunday. And so you've got some limited time here to squeeze that in. It's a real interesting concept of that it bounces back and forth between rehearsing a production of Romeo and Juliet and then the actual characters within the play as Shakespeare is writing it. Sounds super cool. And then there's a whole bunch of complications, and it gets, sorted out, and the love stories get twisted and all those sorts of things. And there's, between like Romeo, Shakespeare, and down in Isla community theater director and aspiring novelist, Sawyer Bloom is his name. And so it's recommended for ages 11 and up. So take your teenagers to this show. And again, this is the closing weekend, so make sure that you get your butts in there. And so you can go to smtmke.org to find out more information about that. And then also closing is The Nether over at Renaissance Theater Works, The Nether by Jennifer Haley. It's directed by Elise Edelman, who is an amazing Milwaukee artist. Many of you, if you're watching this, know her, if you're in the Milwaukee area. And so The Nether is set in the near future, and it sort of blurs this whole like immersive virtual realities and the ethical implications of when you are living out your fantasies in the virtual world. Are they what are the implications of illegality and things like that. And it's a really, really great play. We actually did this play. This was our show at the Constructivist that got shut down by the pandemic. Is my trauma from this, my personal trauma from this show. But it's a really great play. It really asks a lot of questions, and I highly recommend, if you have not seen this play, to go and catch this. So you go and see Juliet and Romeo, and then on another night you can go and see The Nether over at Renaissance Theater Works, and that can be your weekend here in Milwaukee. And then you can go to their website is rtwmke.org for Renaissance Theater Works, so go check that out. And then last but not least, Milwaukee Chamber Theatre, and we also have their interview here with Jennifer Vosters. This team is one busy crew, because they are never short on not only productions, but then events that they have going on throughout the year. And so this one that's coming up on Monday, you can go and see is their Montgomery Davis play development series, and it's called Steady as She Goes by Erica Berman. It's directed by Karen Estrada, who we had on the program a little while ago, and you can go back on our YouTubes and Facebooks to on the internets, and check out our interview with Karen Estrada, wonderful human being, really, really talented person as well. And there's a lot of cool people involved in this reading. Matt Daniels, George Lorimer, one of my favorite people, Joe Chetty, who I've tried to get involved in constructivist shows a few times, and Jennifer Vosters, because there is another human being who cannot just do one thing at one time. She must do all of the things, and you'll see what a lovely human being she is here shortly. And if you would like to go and be a witness to this reading, you can go to MilwaukeeChamberTheatre.org to check out that reading and have a great time with some new art. New art abounds right now between Juliet and Romeo and the Montgomery Davis playing development series. This week you can see some new theater stuff. So that's what we have going on right now for this week. You can also check out the calendar at Milwaukee Theatre Alliance.org, and we have events on the calendar when people send them to me. And so without further ado, here we have Jennifer Vosters, who again is doing a wonderful portrayal right now in A Doll's House over at Milwaukee Chamber Theatre. And with that, here's that interview. And with me here today, I have the most wonderful, amazing, talented, all the things, actor, musician, producer. What else can we add to that list now? You are just on a roll, my friend. Jennifer Vosters, how are you today?
It's really great to see you, Jaimelyn. Thanks. I really appreciate being here.
Yeah, I am so glad that you could fit this into your schedule. You've got a little bit of a hit on your hands. It seems to be. You just opened A Doll's House last weekend, and performances are just selling out like crazy. So people are really excited about this version, because it's not like the old version. So we will talk about that. But can you just, for people who don't know you, and everybody should know you by now, but for people who don't know you, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and just a little bit about your journey as an artist?
Yeah. So my name is Jennifer Vosters. I grew up outside Milwaukee. I grew up in Brookfield, and I'm an actor, a musician, a writer, and occasional director. I have worked around Wisconsin. I've also worked in Illinois, in Indiana, out in the Southwest a little bit, specifically earlier in my career. So theater is kind of my bread and butter. I am technically based in Chicago now, but I still work up in Wisconsin fairly frequently, and it still very much feels like home. And this is actually my first time working as an actor at Milwaukee Chamber. I had directed a few readings for them over the years, but this is my first time on their stage, and it really is a very, very special homecoming kind of feeling for me. So it's really an honor to be here.
Yeah, I bet, because you've been on the road for what was your journey? That was well over a year, wasn't it, that you were on the road for
I've kind of been on the road a few different times in my career. Like when I started acting, I was very much bopping from place to place. And then recently I wrote a one-person show that I took to different festivals around North America. So that included Cincinnati, Cleveland, Green Bay, Milwaukee, and Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, which was really an adventure. The whole thing was a wonderful adventure. So that did span about a year. I had the winter kind of period off, but I started performing my show in Milwaukee in 2023, summer 2023, and then have performed it all of summer 2024. And then we'll be performing it again in Spring Green in April at Two Crows Theater. So it's been a wonderful experience to kind of get back on the road and learn how to self-produce and bring a show that I'm very, very passionate about to a lot of different kinds of audiences. It's been really a fun adventure.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. That whole process of creating your own work is a whole other episode that we could do. So you're back home for a little bit at least. So tell me a little bit about, for people who don't know, can we go a little bit into A Doll's House, like just the old good classic version of Doll's House?
Absolutely. And I'm reminding myself that this is still a new play for a lot of people. I encountered it in high school. Many people did, or in college, or have seen it, but a lot of people also have never interacted with it at all. So I'll try to keep everything spoiler free. But A Doll's House is a play that was premiered in 1879 by Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen. It became an instant sensation because of its really ahead of its time handling of gender roles and realism in the theater. And it caused quite a stir because of the decisions that the titular doll, Nora Helmer, the main character, makes throughout the play, and particularly at the end of the play. There's a really dramatic decision that she makes
that we're not going to talk about at all.
We're not going to talk about that shocked people to a degree that it was censored. He was pressured to write a different ending, and it really propelled the play to legendary status. All that being said, the original play, is in Norwegian, so everything that we would read would be a translation anyway. But it is a Victorian play, so the original version, I think that a lot of people, if they know the play, might think of, has a lot of sort of frilly Victorian language. There are servants introducing people. There are coats being hung up, and all kinds of, to our ear, strange language that stretches the play out a little bit. And what this adaptation does, this new adaptation by Amy Herzog,
Wonderful, amazing playwright. If you do not know her stuff, you need to go out and find her stuff, because her use of language is really something else. It's really something else. Yeah.
And what she's accomplished with this play is something else, because she's able to maintain the total integrity of the story, every beat, every twist, every loaded conversation, and just condense it. So she's stripped away some of that Victorian mannerism frill. She's condensed the characters slightly, so it's just there are fewer servants and children, and really has every word pack a punch. The language is sparse, but it is packed with meaning. And so it just accelerates the drama and really turns up the heat. But it's the same story. It is a tremendous accomplishment, I think, for a playwright / adapter to do as she has done with this play. And it really just intensifies it for contemporary audiences who are used to just a faster experience. And that's exactly what she has delivered with it. So it's very thrilling to get to work on this particular version.
That's awesome. Can you talk, just without any spoilers, just a little bit about the story itself, about what the basis of the relationships are?
Yes. So A Doll's House centers around Nora Helmer, who is a wife and mother in an ostensibly happy marriage with children, living in a very exciting time of her life and her husband's life. He's just received a big promotion. Things are really looking bright for them when we meet them at the beginning of the play. But as the play starts to unravel, you start to learn that Nora has made some decisions in the past for the betterment of her family, for the safety of her husband, for the health of her husband, that were not entirely above board, shall we say. And the consequences of those decisions, which she has kept completely secret for almost a decade now, start to come due. And so she, while trying to maintain secrecy, while trying to maintain this facade of a very happy, very cheerful wife and mother, is also behind the scenes trying to really scramble to solve some of these problems that she's created herself by telling some lies and not being fully honest with the people around her. And
which never goes well on the stage. It never goes well on the stage for some reason.
Yeah. And getting caught up in that classic kind of web of lies, she starts to have to confront some very painful truths about herself and about her marriage and about the world around her that she frankly has never had to fully engage with, because she's been kept in a very protective kind of doll's house.
Yeah. Ha. See what you did there. See what you did.
So it's a really delicious, dramatic story about self-actualization and about, it's thrilling. There's secrets, there's drama.
Yes.
And it's about the very painful but very beautiful clarity that comes with learning the truth of who you are.
Yeah. Which is why people should see the show, because that's something that we all strive for and can all understand and all want to have, is to be yourself and to be able to just have to know yourself and be yourself.
Yes. Yep. And that is a journey that is crystallized in the lens of gender in this play. So it will certainly relate to a lot of people who experience, gender oppression, gender minority status, but also it's just a very human story of wanting to be the author of your own story. And when you realize that you're not in the story you thought you were in, what are you going to do about it? It's a very, very relatable kind of hero's journey that I think a lot of people are still shocked by. It's still very shocking, and B, still very touched by and very moved by, regardless of gender, of generation, or any other kind of identity marker.
Well, yeah, because I mean, as much as we would like to, I would say, pretend that, women have made tremendous progress in the over 100 years since this play was originally written. I think particularly the past little bit has shown us that we still have a long way to go about women having autonomy over their own lives.
Yep.
Is what I will say about that.
Yep. I agree.
Yes. But so people can go to Milwaukee Chamber Theatre with the re.org to get tickets. But as I said, you guys you have lots of performances that are sold out already. If you want to see this show, get your butt in there, because it's a popular one.
And we're so thankful for the interest of the community, for the support of the community. It's got a lot of local folk involved, which is something I love and really, really, really respect about Chamber, is its commitment to Wisconsin, to Milwaukee artists. So a lot of familiar faces on the stage.
Who are your cohorts? Who are your persons?
Yeah, so directed by Lita Hoffman, who's done tremendous work in Milwaukee. It's featuring Josh Krause, who's a local favorite, Kat Woodkey, another local favorite, Matt Bowdrin, who recently relocated to Milwaukee, who's fantastic, Anna Nagraj, who lives in Chicago and has worked up in, I think, at the Rep before, and Libby Amato, another Milwaukee icon, and some wonderful kids for the kids are double cast, so some wonderful young performers from the community as well. Several local designers just doing gorgeous work. So it feels like all of Chamber's work, but it really feels by this community. Which is another reason why it feels just so incredibly special for me to be able to be part of it, because these are people that I have watched their work for years. I learned how to be an audience member in that theater. So it feels really special for me to have that connection as well.
Yay. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so excited to come and see you work on this, because I can absolutely see you. I'm pretty decent at casting, and I feel like this is a casting choice that I myself would have made, that you feel so good for that part, for that role.
Oh, I appreciate hearing that, Jaimelyn. Thank you.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm very excited about it. So go to MilwaukeeChamberTheatre.org, get your tickets right now, today, and go and see a wonderful adaptation of Doll's House.
Thank you. Couldn't say it any better. Hope you join us.
Jennifer Vosters, thank you so much for being with us today, and have an excellent run.
Thank you so very much. Look forward to seeing you and whoever else can join us. Thank you.
Yay. Okay. There is that amazing artist human. Jennifer Vosters is really quite the talent. If you have not seen any of her work, you should really get out there and do that, because that one has a career ahead of her, is knee deep in career. So let's just stop kidding ourselves about that. But I highly encourage you to go and see A Doll's House. As we said in there, just a really great iteration of that well-known work. If you have any questions about that, go to MilwaukeeChamberTheatre.org, and they will have paths to answer all of your questions, I would assume. But that's what we have for you this week on this We Are Back. You've Got a Thing. Why do I say we? Why do I say we? It's me. It's me. I am doing this. I am doing this for the Milwaukee Theatre Alliance Theatre. So I hope that you will come back next week and visit us again. I'm going to try to get Milwaukee Opera Theater on here. They've got Rusalka that they're bringing back. Who else has got things? Well, I start rehearsals for the Beauty Queen of Lebanon with the Constructivists coming up here, so I will be able to talk to you more about that. Who else? Oh, Next Act has their next production opening up on the 12th. I believe that is The Children by Lucy Kirkwood, which is also a really great piece. I was considering that for the Constructivists. So anyway, I hope you come back and see us to see who we have for you next week, and you can follow the social medias to see who's going to be on the program. So do that as well. But I hope to catch you next time on You've Got a Thing.